welcome to the Hustle Podcast. This is our pilot episode. This is the podcast where we bring on entrepreneur guests to learn more about their hustle and kind of get insight on their day-to-day and learn from their experience. We don't have a guest for our first episode because it's our first episode.
We don't.
But we're going to do introductions here, kind of set precedent for what everybody can expect with this podcast. So we'll go ahead and just go around the table. My name is Trevor Bowie.
I'm Travis Bowie.
And I'm Jordon Lebron.
And yes, him and I are actually twin brothers, if you didn't catch our...
The dynamic duo.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo, Batman and Robin.
So yeah, we're going to kind of just go around the table and allow our audience to kind of get to know us a little bit, kind of our story, why we wanted to do something like this, what you guys can expect, and kind of why we're excited to have this platform and this podcast. So, any opening thoughts from you guys at all?
I'm just super excited.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Like you said, this episode is just going to be kind of laying out our future episodes. In the future, we're planning on having guests on and actually get into some entrepreneurship content, but this episode's a preview for the future of the podcast.
Yeah, just to share a little bit of information about us, what we're all about, and just to let the audience know what we're all about and to get to know all of us. So,
well,
which one of y'all wants to start?
I guess we can start with how all of us met. Obviously, Travis and I are brothers.
Yeah.
Jordan, so Travis and I are incoming juniors. We all go to Ohio University.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan and I are both entrepreneurship majors, and Travis...
I'm a finance major.
Yeah, you have a second major, don't you?
I will have a couple minors coming. It'll be marketing, finance. Yeah,
okay.
Man, those on, but may not see them anymore though. I'm not sure.
So I would go over again how you two actually first met, because I met Jordan through Trevor shortly after.
I think you reached out to me first, didn't you?
I did. I reached out to Trevor because I was interested in the entrepreneurship club, and I emailed Paul. And I asked him for some information on it because he's the head of it.
Oh, and then he defaulted to me.
Yeah, he defaulted it to you. And
just for anybody that doesn't know, OU has an entrepreneurship club, which is a student organization within the entrepreneurship department. That kind of speaks for itself.
Mm.
So I kind of forgot that's how it worked out.
Yeah, my email kind of defaulted.
He just forwarded that to me and Bar, who was the president.
Yeah. Lowly freshman looking for help.
Yeah, so
that's how you do it, though, man.
So me and Trevor had the idea. We wanted to start doing something together, and we had the idea of a podcast. And Trevor was like, "Well, recently I just met this guy named Jordan, who I think would be great to do like a co-host with us." So we reached out to him, and we've started building that. Really, like the past 3 months, we've been slowly working towards this first episode with all three of us.
Yeah. Super excited. I still remember that first time we met up at Starbucks.
Yeah, it was at Starbucks. It was very casual. I was sitting there in my leather jacket, just chilling, and Trevor walks in. Didn't know what the hell he looked like, but I'm just sitting there.
Oh, dude, it took me like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and he's just looking around like.
But once we got talking, it just seemed like a lot of stuff aligned.
Right.
What we were
for real.
What our goals were, kind of some of the special areas of interest.
Right, both of us had a lot in common.
We just seemed to be on the same page from day one.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that back to the whiteboard with Travis.
Yeah.
And I thought 3 would be a perfect number of people for a podcast.
Like co-hosts.
Right.
Like 3 and a guest,
Yeah,
of course we'll have guests.
Yeah, and I mean, we just hit it off right from the start, and that's how this all happened. And I'm more than grateful for this now because I'm super excited to do this with you guys. It's really an experience.
Yeah, so we've been workshopping this. Like I said, this is called The Hustle, capital THE, and we're super passionate about our name because we feel like entrepreneurship is the ultimate hustle, and people throw around terms like side hustles and things of that nature, and we really felt like that was an appropriate name to kind of be a catch-all for kind of what we're about. And so that's kind of what this episode is going to be focused on, is kind of letting our audience know, kind of the purpose of this podcast and anything else that we have under the Hustle umbrella coming in future months.
So learn more about the hustle. So our podcast is going to be it's going to be our main focus, especially at the beginning, but also with the Hustle Media Group and brand. We're going to be doing other forms of content like networking, newsletters, blogs, workshops, meetups. It's all open, but we have some great ideas coming, and we're excited to share those.
Definitely.
With you. The Hustle podcast.
Main this podcast, I mean, if anyone out there who watches our content, like who just has a side hustle and is just looking for content, this podcast is for you. We're doing this all for you so that you can learn.
Yeah,
all three of us are student entrepreneurs. We're aspiring entrepreneurs still. We're all still trying to gain that experience that we're all still looking for. So we're all on the same page as our audience who is just trying to build those side hustles as well. And
to go into more of our audience, like it's not just for entrepreneurs, like that's more kind of the space we're focused on, but anyone like business minded who just loves learning about business, starting things up, everything like that is for anybody.
Anyone who has an idea, no idea is a stupid idea in my opinion. So this podcast is for you if you got an idea out there that you want to make a reality. We're just going to inspire people to do that.
Well, and to piggyback off of that, as he said, we are student entrepreneurs in college, gaining experience ourselves. Yep. All of us are brand new to this whole podcast thing.
We're not professionals at all.
This is literally the first time all of us have ever been live on camera, so it's a new experience for all of us.
Well, I've been on camera before.
He has.
That's some of my experience, but we'll get into that more. But I mean, this is all a new experience for all of us, and this is definitely a big step out of all of our comfort zones. I think doing a podcast specifically, because none of us have ever done a podcast. 100%. None of us have ever done a podcast before, especially with video and lighting and not just an audio podcast. So we're doing, and it's kind of crazy to think about.
Pilot episode. We're set up at our parents' house in Pickerington, but eventually we're going to be on campus. We're really looking to get involved in the OU campus community and be all about our audience and network there. We're hoping to have a studio there, but just for the summer right now, we're set up in my parents' house.
Yeah. Bootstrapping it, baby.
Yeah, we gotta make do with what we got. So, and honestly, couldn't have picked a better background. I mean, we're loving it. So, So, do one of y'all want to share a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already had bits and pieces, but the main things I want to share about myself is that I've just always been super passionate about helping other entrepreneurs. I've kind of always known I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I've recently developed a really strong passion for bringing other entrepreneurs together and kind of combining minds. I think entrepreneurship for a lot of people can be a very isolated experience because you are that one guy or gal at the top of that chain making it all run, and that can come with a lot of pressure. I think sometimes entrepreneurship can be an alienating journey some of the time. And so I think it's really critical for entrepreneurs alike to kind of have a platform where they can come together and, teamwork, collaborating, really a sense of belonging, kind of help bring each other back down to earth a little bit and not feel like we're going psycho 24/7.
Right. No one's in their hustle alone. There's always people that you can network with.
We're going against each other. It's really staying on top and building together.
It's all about cooperation.
Yeah.
I like that word.
So, as that relates to my journey, I hope to kind of be doing that all along every step of the way throughout my career. And especially when it's all said and done for me and I'm kind of done with my entrepreneurship journey, I really want to come full circle and have more of a structured educating and mentorship for younger entrepreneurs. And so all of this is just kind of a really small opportunity for me to, kind of start that journey for me. So really excited. In the present day, I am in the early stages of launching a tech company called OTech Solutions, which focuses on making technology that helps make organic farming more efficient. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is actually a program. The company is being started through a program supported through the university and the Center of Entrepreneurship at Ohio University. So it's me and another guy who I'm sure will make his way onto this show at some point.
We got to have him on.
Yes.
His name's Drew, great guy.
Drew Urbanzik, yeah. If you're watching this, Drew, you will find your way on this table very shortly. Really excited with that, getting really, really hands-on, real-life experience with that. So I'm sure I will be referencing my experience with OTech throughout the show, and so you'll learn bits and pieces along the way. Feel free to ask any questions.
You want to talk a little bit more about previous entrepreneurship experiences?
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of different interesting consultative sort of structured experiences and opportunities with some startups, specifically in the digital marketing and tech space. I've had some experience kind of building out sales pipes and marketing strategy for different startups. Like I said, kind of in a consultation sort of structured type of way. And so I've had some experience in sales and marketing there. When I was really young, like 14, 15, 16, and had no clue about anything in the world, I tried my hand at e-commerce and online kind of affiliate marketing, some of those, everything in that realm.
Drop shipping type.
Yeah. There's
just found out we got another thing in common right
whatever,
there, you
whatever
know?
you, oh yeah, and I know he's done that.
Yeah.
He's actually been successful with
Yeah.
it. I was kind of ignorant in my attempts and didn't really give it a full-fledged try, but I kind of got a taste of it, a taste of entrepreneurship from an early age, and never looked back from there. And so just continue to take steps forward from there.
Pretty similar. Jordan, I don't know if I've ever really talked to you much about my experience, but
no, not really.
Similar. So where I've got my start, my passion for entrepreneurship is back, like Trevor said, like 12 to 14. Me and my buddy Scott, we started our landscaping company. Just basic like mowing, mulching.
You guys should have stuck with that.
painting decks, like real basic landscaping. But we did that all through high school. And that was great.
There's a hustle.
And then me and Scott also, it was a real basic start hustle. That's where I feel like a lot of people start. We also had another thing called pallet products, where we repurposed wooden pallets and made them into like kind of home decor and home furniture items. That got shut down pretty quickly because we had a problem with our facility. But
yeah.
Well, also Scott was running chili.
Yeah. So those are two of my experiences with entrepreneurship, and I mean the hustle in general is another step for me in my entrepreneurship journey.
Same for me. It's
hoping a little bit more about me in the future. I'm after college. My plan is to get into real estate, maybe selling real estate to start with, but eventually investments like flipping and rental properties.
I know that's something that we have in common together.
We
will talk more about that. Just to piggyback off of Travis, I mean, where I started is totally different from where you guys started.
Yeah.
And I owe nothing but gratitude to my father, because my father was the person that got me all hooked onto this stuff. And he showed me a book. He didn't show me anything that he did, because my father's in sales. He's a health insurance agent. Watched him do sales his whole life, so I've kind of just taken the steps there to becoming a salesperson. Like you just know what to say, you know what to do,
Isn't it kind of just in your
DNA.
DNA?
At that point it is.
Yeah,
like
both of our fathers are in sales. That's like pretty coincidental.
Like
maybe not coincidental.
from him, like I mean, like I'm not going on like a big stage or anything, but like being behind a camera right now, like I'm not nervous because of that, and I think that's just because of how like animate my father is and like how much of a personality he has. So it's kind of just it trickles down to you. But so he introduced me to a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Great book to start. Read the book, loved it, fell in love with it. Like I was so hooked when assets and liabilities and all that sort of stuff just came into play. I'm just like, so you're telling me these are how these people are making fucking money? They're investing in shit? I'm like, well, shit. I mean, I'm kind of interested in that now. So from there.
How old were you when you read that book?
Oh God, that was
15.
That was senior year of high school.
Okay.
Senior year of high school, so I was like 17, 18 or something like that. And that was like 2022. So that whole summer of 2022 going into a freshman year of college.
So you've kind of been in that mind frame for 2 years now.
Pretty much. I mean, that whole summer, nothing but books on real estate.
So that kind of hooked you?
Yeah, he hooked me onto that. And then I discovered e-commerce and influencer marketing. And technically I did have, like before he introduced me to that book and I really got hooked, I did have my own little business set up. It was called Premium Tech. It was an influencer-based business where I would just review products for small businesses.
Affiliate, right?
Yeah, kind of affiliate, yeah. So, I would just reach out to them, like cold call pretty much, and just cold email them and say, hey, I'm a small influencer. I have 40,000 people following me.
Right.
I could boost your sales like a bunch if you let me do a video and stuff and a review on it.
It's crazy how much that stuff is going around now.
Right, and it took
still wildly on the
and it
rise.
took off, and sadly that was right when I was going into high school, so I had to shut that down because school and everything. But I had a lot of fun with that, and but it was a lot to take care of too. Like you had to make sure your audience was still with you and you're still being consistent with them, and that was a lot of stress. But
for one guy that's a lot to keep up with, especially as you're transitioning out of high school into college.
Right. So
tell me more about why you decided not to stick with that more? Like, why you moved on from it?
It's not that it got hard. It's just that like schoolwork got in the way, like, and my parents being my parents, you need to focus on your schoolwork and stuff like that, which totally fine. Like, yeah, I get that. But at the same time, I was having fun with that as a side hustle. And that's kind of the way I looked at it. Like, I didn't even look at it.
That seems like a great thing to spend time on.
Well, yeah, I didn't even think of it as anything like to make money with or like to see it as an entrepreneurial thing. Like, I just thought of it sort of like, oh yeah, like this is just a sort of a fun hobby that I'm making money with. Like, kind of like how gamers make money with YouTube, like when they first start out, like, because I did that too, like, but that failed miserably. So, but yeah, that was definitely my first, those were definitely like my first experiences. And, and now that with this podcast, like this is going to be a huge experience working with two other like-minded individuals like yourselves. So, I'm super excited. Let's just jump into this shit. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah. Kind of just go in head first.
Right.
Manage it as we go.
Right.
So as I'm speaking to the audience, as you guys can see, we all have unique, individualized experiences that we have gotten our feet wet with a little bit.
And we're looking to build on as well.
And we're looking to build on it. And this is a great way for us to do that. But more importantly for you guys, one thing I want to hit on within this 30 minutes that we're having here is what you guys can expect from us. I specifically want to focus on talking about what we're not going to be, because I think if we want to address the elephant in the room here, we are all not even 21 years old, right? We don't have a lot of experience, but we do have a little bit. And so there is an elephant in the room of, what
who really, are you guys to be?
Who are we going to be, right? Like, what is this about? Why are we here?
Like, are you guys above us or anything? No. Like, and that's exactly what we're promoting against. We are not above any one person who has more experience than us. If anything, we're trying to learn from that person, just like the audience.
Like all of our fellow students that might be on the podcast or watching, it's a level playing field. We're in this together, just sharing. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I'm excited about the podcast, is to give other students a platform to talk to and share their story with other students. To all just collaborate together.
Exactly.
Now, do we all have, of course, us three, as we just kind of outlined, some experience that we can relate to add context and kind of occasionally add value ourselves? 100%. We're absolutely going to do that. But what we're not going to do is come in here and act like we are experts and try to come in here and school you guys on how you guys should treat yourselves as entrepreneurs and how to succeed. That's not what we're going to do.
No. And
what we're going to try to be is a bridge.
Yeah. And our ultimate vision is to educate and connect people.
Yep,
and to connect entrepreneurs specifically.
That's our motto for the Hustle brand, is educating and connecting entrepreneurs.
We think it's so important to network. I mean, like you and I hit it off simply, I think, because of like how much we both love networking. Too.
Yeah, I mean that's just how it happens.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's all this is just a bridge to provide a common ground for our audience and for our guests that are coming on that are already playing the game of entrepreneurship, and the audience that may already be playing too, or is trying to get into it, or just learn
has
more.
A little bit of interest in that.
It provides common ground for all of us to have a sense of community, because, like I said, it's just so important for everyone to collaborate and kind of bounce ideas off of each other.
Well, and when entrepreneurs are looked at as the people at the top, that kind of makes it very intimidating to want to network with those kinds of people, just because of how much money they're worth or anything like that. Yeah, exactly. But we want to make it so that way, we're all aspiring entrepreneurs, but we are not, in no way putting ourselves above anyone who has as much experience as we do.
Yeah, so we want to be very close in touch with everyone that's listening to us and watching us and following us. We don't want to be, put on a pedestal, through our content in the eyes of you guys from your perspective. We want all of us to kind of be in the same room, right? Yeah. And all working towards the same goal and growing together.
That's a reason we're having like the networking events, just to like connect with our audience, get their ideas and feedback, and share some more like personal stuff with them.
Yeah.
Just to all be together.
Yeah, and it is all just about bringing everybody together and building those relationships that a lot of people like are intimidated to do. Because I can remember like right when I walked on campus, I'm like, okay, this is college now. Where do I start? Like, do I do I go to the business college and talk to the front desk lady and she can hook me up with some students? Like, or do I go up to Court Street to the bar and, just get hammered?
This is a great solution
yeah,
to that young Jordon.
Right. But I am forever grateful to have met both of you because
Absolutely, brother.
you guys have both helped me, A, build up my confidence to do this.
Yeah.
But B, also, I know that if I ever need anything on campus, I have two guys who are not just older than me, but have gone through it, already a year,
Yeah.
So
the relationship that us three have formed here is what we're hoping to do with our platform. To provide an opportunity for all of you watching us that are going to be kind of joining our community to be able to meet each other and start building relationships amongst one another. And so that's why we're thinking of, having coffee meetups or doing, maybe workshops or something if we can bring in an industry expert that can do like a speech and kind of do a workshop or lead a workshop.
Yeah.
We have some ideas of other ways to bring you guys value. Right now, that's all we're focused on is bringing you guys value through quality content.
Free content.
Yeah, of course. It's free.
That's at the very beginning stages when we were idea mapping this, one of our very first priorities was it's got to be free content because when we were college guys, like no one's paying $5, $10 a month for subscriptions or anything.
Especially if our target audience is college people, all of us are broke college kids. So
just thinking on that too. If any of you guys have ideas or concepts of ways that we can help you guys get better and help all of us kind of get better, don't hesitate to reach out to us. There will be I don't know which corners which is going to be, but we'll have our email in one corner. We'll have all of our social handles in another corner.
Yeah, and honestly, we're open to any suggestions on guests, their experience. We're open to any of that, venture capital, real estate, influencer, any suggestions.
Even in our initial survey we sent out to some of you guys amongst the student body, some of the feedback we're getting is other industries that we can focus on. If some of you guys had taken the survey, we did a survey to kind of gauge interest level around OU and in Athens for something like this, like a podcast. And we kind of highlighted some industries that we're going to kind of outline and highlight throughout our podcast. And you guys have already started inserting some other industries that we need to focus on. So that's already kind of started feedback.
And some of them I don't even recognize, so I'm excited to learn about them.
Guest on that's in that field, we're gonna be learning from them.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great experience, and I couldn't think of any other two people that I'd rather do it with because we all came up with this, so we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna make it enjoyable for all you guys. Yeah. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have fun with this.
We should have some fun events. We haven't really talked about that, but we should have some fun events.
I think the meetups would be fun.
Yeah,
I think so too. I think the meetups will be probably the best way to bring everybody together. The podcast itself is good, but getting people
nothing beats in person.
Yeah, getting people together, especially after COVID, just getting people together is
And when we're getting people together, we want to support the local Athens businesses.
Right.
We want to be all intertwined in the community. Maybe eventually working towards some sponsorships from Athens businesses.
Yeah.
Having meetups there. Yeah. We can throw an ad on our podcast, whatever it is.
Because they all have to deal with our shit on the weekends. They all have to deal with us. They have to deal with us on the weekends. All of our drunk asses stumbling back.
What else do you want to cover? So schedule-wise, we're targeting for at least one podcast a month. And so this is our pilot for August. We've got some really great candidates that have already given us green lights and shown interest to come on and speak with us, who are already starting their own businesses or making their own inroads for their own entrepreneur journeys. And so we've got some really good people out there that we want to be bringing in this semester. So we're going to aim to do sit down with one person a month for starters. And if we have bandwidth to do more, then we may expand it to two. So we're super excited for some of the people coming in. Definitely be looking out for some of those people. I'm not going to mention them yet, but
really want to. But
and what to expect on those episodes is exactly what you see here. Just three or four people just sitting around bullshitting, talking about business.
You can expect first episode with a guest though, mid-September.
Yeah, mid-September we're looking at, and I think the best way to connect with us if you have any questions or you'd like to even come on the show if you are a student entrepreneur who's out there, the best way to connect with us is our email. just send us an email, tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll respond back to you and talk back with you.
We'll put it
We're all
on
about
the screen, but it's thehustlemg@gmail.com.
Yeah, as we've emphasized, we're big on building those relationships with not just between the three of us and our guests, but our audience, and that's something that we really are prioritizing. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it so far. So
the other thing we'll deliver is written content in 2 different formats.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a general blog that is kind of just wide open, current events, any big moves that happen on a national or global scale. So that will kind of just be...
Or in Athens.
Well, then we'll have our newsletter.
Yeah.
So the blog will just be kind of casting a wide net. Any news or any sort of current events or anything else that we think might bring value. And then we'll have a dedicated newsletter to our close-knit local community that is either going to be weekly or bi-weekly probably. And that'll be more focused on things that are happening in Athens.
Yeah.
How the Southeast Ohio just in general.
Yeah, local.
Kind of housekeeping to keep like our local group connected and informed.
Yeah, and I mean we got a lot of great ways to keep those people connected.
So our website, thehustlemg.com, right? Is going to be our hub for where we're going to put up the podcast. Our podcast we're going to have on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Obviously, the Spotify and Apple Music is just going to be audio, but we thought video podcast.
Well, actually, now Spotify does videos.
Okay.
So you can, I don't know about Apple because I usually just listen on Spotify.
Apple doesn't do it. It's just
so
Apple
Spotify,
Podcasts.
and maybe you have to pay a certain
Actually,
premium.
I did see that.
You may have to pay like a certain premium. We'll look into that. But I know Spotify does have a feature, for whatever, that you can actually do have a video now.
So the podcast is going to be on YouTube video podcast. We thought that was important to get way more connection.
We're gonna be on pretty much any social media outlet that you can think of. It will all be there.
Yep.
Our website is where we want to direct our audience to build that email list of our newsletter to keep everyone informed together. We're going to do the emails on the website. And that's where the blogs and newsletters and the event calendar will be.
Right. Yeah. And the website is going to be our main hub, and it's going to branch out to all those other different social media platforms that we're also going to have for you, our YouTube, our Twitter, our LinkedIn, and everything like that. So,
Well, we're excited.
Yes, we're all very excited.
This was kind of just setting precedent, expectations, what we can do for you guys. We really encourage feedback on what you guys want from us as we, kind of ramp up here.
Please.
And also, this kind of just came to my mind last minute. As we're forming a community and kind of getting to know everybody that's, kind of following us in our family, or if you will, we want to hear your guys' success stories and share those.
Yeah.
If you guys are following us and kind of in our community and working with us, we want to know how you guys are doing and how you guys are succeeding, what you guys are involved in. We want to learn about you guys.
Or what you're struggling with, if we can connect you with some help. Man.
We want to help you guys. We want to promote you guys and praise you guys when you guys are, being successful too.
Mm-hmm.
So
we all want to hear those success stories because they're the best. So.
Happy news.
Yeah. So. Well,
with that, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
This is the Hustle Podcast, and we'll see you in mid-September.
Mid-September.
Cool.
Solid, bruh.
Good shit.
How do you guys feel?
Dude, that flew by.